Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you can download and install Ubuntu version 16.04 on your VirtualBox virtual machine. Now, those of you who don't know what is VirtualBox, VirtualBox is a software using which you can run different type of operating system on your native machine. So you don't need to uninstall anything for running an extra operating system on your host machine. For example, I have Windows machine and I want to install Ubuntu on my machine. I don't need to uninstall Windows. This VirtualBox software will allow me to use Ubuntu, for example, as a virtual machine on my host machine. So if you don't know how to install VirtualBox, you just need to search for VirtualBox, and the first link which will appear here will be from virtualbox.org, and then you just need to go to downloads. Here you can see different kind of downloads here. This is for Windows, so you can just click here to download VirtualBox, and if you click here on downloads, you're already we are already in downloads. If you come to the home page of this website, then you just need to click downloads from here, right? And then click install or download this executable file for VirtualBox, and then just run the installer. And it's not complicated, so I'm not going to show you how you can download and install VirtualBox. But after installing VirtualBox, it's going to look like this. Now in my VirtualBox, I already have some operating system running here. For example, I already have Ubuntu running on it. I have Kali Linux installed on my VirtualBox, or I have Windows 10 also on my VirtualBox. So let's see how we can download and install Ubuntu 16.4 on my VirtualBox also, right? Now whenever you see it for the first time, you won't be seeing these virtual machines. These virtual machines I have downloaded and installed after installing the VirtualBox, right? Now in order to install Ubuntu, you just need to search for Ubuntu here. And the first link which will appear here will be ubuntu.com. so just go in this website, and in here you will be able to see the desktop, and you will be also able to see the downloads section. So in here you just need to click downloads tab here, and here you will be able to see this link which says Ubuntu download, right? So just click this link. Now in here you have two versions of Ubuntu available. One is the Ubuntu 16.04 at the time of making this video, which is LTS version. In here you can also see the full form of LTS. LTS stands for long-term support version, right? The other is the latest version of Ubuntu, which is 16.10 at the time of making this video. So whenever you come to this page, you may always want to download the long-term support version, because this LTS version will be supported for a long time. On the other hand, this version, which is the latest version, so you will be able to see the latest feature in this version, but it will not be supported for a long time, because Ubuntu releases its desktop version frequently. So for example, in next one, when you come here, it's going to be 16.11 or 12 or 13, whereas this version is going to remain stable for some time, for some years, I would say. Okay, so I'm going to choose this 16.04 version, and I will click download here, and now you will reach to this page. Now in here, Ubuntu website will ask you to give some donation. By the way, Ubuntu is totally free and open source, but in order to keep this project running, you are encouraged to give some donations. But for now, I don't want to give any donations, so I will just keep these progress bar at 0. So here my contribution will be 0, but I will be able to see this button which says Ubuntu desktop download. Okay, so when you click this button, then you will be able to download the Ubuntu ISO file. Now just click this button and download of this ISO file will start. You see Ubuntu 16.4.1 desktop 64-bit version .iso. Now I have already downloaded this file. You can see this file is 1.4 gigabyte, so it will take some time to download. So I have already downloaded this ISO file in advance so that I don't need to waste my time on downloading this. So I have already downloaded this. Once you have downloaded this ISO file, then you will be able to see this ISO file like this. So this is my ISO file, and I have saved this ISO file at a desired location. Anywhere in your desktop you can save this ISO file, right? Now let's go to our VirtualBox. So I will open my VirtualBox, and in here, in order to create a new device, what you can do is you can either click here which says new, or either right click here on this on this left hand side, then create a new device, right? So whenever you have already created a device, for example Windows 10, and when I right click on this device, I can even remove this Windows forever, right? So for a new device, I need to just click here this button which says new, which is going to give me this kind of pop-up box. Now in here I just need to give the name of my machine, for example Ubuntu, and this VirtualBox is smart enough to give you these options, which is Linux and Ubuntu 64-bit, right? And maybe I will just give the version of this, for example Ubuntu 0.4, because Ubuntu is already a name in my virtual machine, you can see here, right? So Ubuntu 16.4. If it doesn't give you this type option, you can choose it from here. So type is Linux and the version is Ubuntu 16.4, right? Click next. In here you just need to give the memory size for your virtual machine according to the size available for you from your host machine. So for now I want to give it, for example, memory size of 2 gigabyte, so 2040, right? And then I will click next, and in here it says do not add a virtual machine to hard drive. So here we need to choose the hard drive, and other option says create a virtual hard drive now, and the third option says use an existing virtual hard drive. So generally you don't want to change this option, which is by default, which is create a virtual hard drive now. Okay, so just click this option and just click create, which is going to give you this option, which is hard drive file type. So we want to create the hard drive type, which is VDI, which stands for VirtualBox disk image, right? So choose the first option and then click next. In here you need to choose the storage on the physical hard drive type. So generally it's preferred to choose the dynamically allocated. You don't want to allocate a fixed size for your virtual machine, which is yeah, good practice, I would say. So just choose the dynamically allocated size and then click next. Now in here the minimum memory your Ubuntu will require is 8 gigabyte. Now you can increase it. For example, you can give 30 gigabyte or 20 gigabyte depending upon the availability on your machine. For example, I will do 31 gigabyte, for example, and then I will just create, click create, which is going to create this virtual machine on VirtualBox. Now once you click create, you will be able to see Ubuntu 16.4 virtual machine is created on your VirtualBox. But still you are not finished, so you may want to click start button to start this virtual machine. But remember, we haven't given any ISO file to this virtual machine which we have downloaded, right? So select your virtual machine which you have created here, and then go to settings. So just click settings here, and in the settings you can change the name of your virtual machine in the future whenever you want, or go to advanced here, and here you may want to choose these two options, which will allow you to copy and paste between your Windows machine to your Ubuntu operating system, or vice versa. So just select bidirectional shared clipboard and bidirectional drag and drop. Okay, and then the other option is system here. So system, we have already allocated this much amount of memory, so if you want to change it in future you can do it from here. And for now I have one core by default allocated, but I can increase it to 2 or 3 or 4 in future. So for example, I want 2 core to be used for this virtual machine. Okay, now in the storage, just go to storage section, and in the storage go to controller section, and in the controller just click host drive D here. In the host drive D you may want to go here, which is a CD symbol here. Just click the CD symbol, and then just choose the option which says choose a virtual CD DVD disk file. Okay, so just choose this option from here, and then give the location of your ISO file. So my ISO file is located here, so I will just copy the path from here, and then I will paste it here, and you can see I have this Ubuntu ISO file. So just give the location and select your ISO file from here. Okay, and then click open, which is going to provide the path of your ISO file. So your virtual machine knows where to get the ISO file for your Ubuntu. Now you can just click OK from here, and now we are ready to start our virtual machine. So you can start your virtual machine by just right clicking on your virtual machine and clicking start, or just select your virtual machine and then click start from here. So I'm going to click the start button. Now the installation process for Ubuntu will start. So you can see the Ubuntu initial window for the installation is going to set up, and then we are going to see the installation wizard for Ubuntu inside our VirtualBox. So just wait for a while. It's not a very fast process because as you know, every operating system takes some time to do its setup and everything. But we can see here Ubuntu 16.4 installation has been started here, right? Now in the next step, I can see here my installation wizard for Ubuntu has been started. On the left hand side you can choose the language in which you want to install Ubuntu. I want to choose English, and then I want to click install Ubuntu. So just click install Ubuntu, and now I can see this window which says preparing to install Ubuntu, and it shows me two options: download updates while installing Ubuntu, and install third-party software for graphics and Wi-Fi hardware. So I want to check both of these options here, right? And then I will click continue, and in the next stage it asks me the installation type. Now you may be wondering why it's saying erase disk and install Ubuntu. By the way, if you check this option, it's not going to erase your hard disk and install Ubuntu. It's just a default option in your Ubuntu which says this. So it's not going to do anything. You just need to check this option which says erase disk and install Ubuntu. It's okay to do this. It's just a step. So you just need to select this and then click install now. Okay, so now the installation process will start, and here is the default configuration. I just want to click continue for now, and now you just need to choose the location. According to this location your time will be set. So for me it's okay, for Berlin is okay, so I will click continue. And in here you just need to give the keyboard type. Now in every country the keyboard which you are using is different, right? So by default the US keyboard is presented to you, but for now in my case I'm using German keyboard. So for this I can choose German keyboard layout from here. So just search for G and I can see the German keyboard, and I will just choose the German keyboard from here. But if you want to use the same keyboard you have, you just go with the default type. So German and German, and then click continue. In your case it can be English US or any other keyboard. Now in here this will be the name of your Ubuntu machine. So just choose some name. I will choose for example code bind, and this will be the username, and in here you can give the computer name also. So by default the computer name will be code bind. I just need to give code bind here, right? So the virtual computer name will be whatever your name you have given minus code virtual machine, right? So if you don't want this long name, you can just remove it also, something like this. Okay, and then you can give the password here. Give any secure password which you may want to give. I'm giving my password for example, and then repeat this password and leave everything as default and click continue. And now the installation of Ubuntu will start. Now this step will take some time. So now the installation has been started and you need to wait for some time to installation to complete. So I will pause this video for some time, and after everything is done I'm going to continue with this video. Okay, so now as I can see the installation of Ubuntu 16.4 has been done on my VirtualBox, and I am seeing this message which says installation is complete. You need to restart the computer in order to use this installation. So when you click restart, it's going to restart your virtual machine and not your computer, right? So just click restart and it's going to restart your Ubuntu virtual machine which you have installed, right? It's not going to restart your computer. And if the restart takes longer time, you can just cancel this virtual machine also. So just click this close button and then click power off the machine. Okay, so if the restart takes a longer time, just close the virtual machine and start it again. So just select the virtual machine and I will start it again, and then it's going to start my Ubuntu operating system which I have already installed, right? So I can see the operating system is starting, and now I can see my Ubuntu operating system which is on my VirtualBox is started. So you just need to give your password you have provided at the time of installation, and then click enter, which is going to give you your Ubuntu desktop. Okay, so I will just wait for a few seconds and hopefully I will be able to see the Ubuntu desktop in few seconds. So my desktop has been presented to me. I can see all the sidebar icons here, and here I can see all the options which normal Ubuntu have. So I will just see about this computer for example, and most probably I will be able to see the version of my computer here. So I can see here it's a 64-bit. Whatever disk size I have provided, it's there, right? And the memory I have provided, it's there. The device name which I have provided, it's there. Okay, so in this way you can install Ubuntu on VirtualBox. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please rate, comment, subscribe, and bye for now.